The number one thing, and probably the most important thing, is to correct any digestive malfunctions. If both sides of digestion are not working correctly, we don't really bust that food apart that we're eating, and we can't pull all the nutrients out of that food. If you can't digest and break that food down properly, it has to break down by process of rotting and fermenting. Now, rotting and fermenting creates toxins and gases and all this junk that becomes a burden to the body. And the body is going to take burdens and it's going to shove a lot of them into fat cells for safekeeping. It's not going to allow all these toxins and junk to stay in the bloodstream. It's going to be like, hey, I got to get this stuff out of here to keep the system running, operating correctly. And so I'm just going to shove it in a fat cell. And now our pants expand and they don't fit. So we want to keep our food digesting correctly so that we can use it the way the body's supposed to. That means we need to be making enough stomach acid to truly acidify the food that we eat. And once that acidic food leaves the stomach, we need to have enough alkaline bile dropping down from the gallbladder to neutralize those acids. And when the alkaline meets the acid, it creates this sizzle, and that's how we really bust that food apart. And why that's so important is because if the body's not getting the nutrients that it needs out of the food that you're eating, it's going to scream for other stuff. Here's the problem. Junk, this processed carbohydrate junk stuff, is a lot easier to break down and turn into fuel than like a steak or broccoli. Those things take effort. And so if the digestion is not working correctly, the body's going to be like, hey, can you give me that stuff that was easy to break down and turn right into fuel? And you're going to have these cravings for all this junk. We also need our bile flowing correctly because that's where the liver puts all the toxins that it filters out of the body. It puts it into this bile, and then the bile comes down, it flows through the intestinal tract, and the toxins go out the back door when we poop like a champion. So we need that bile moving correctly. And the problem is it's really common for someone not to be making enough stomach acid, and it's really common for someone's bile to become too thick and sticky to flow correctly, and then the body's not detoxing like it wants to. So not only can we not digest our food, but we can't remove the toxins, and a lot of those toxins are going to be stored in fat cells, and we expand again. This digestion is really a crucial aspect for weight loss, and it's probably the biggest reason that a lot of people fail on a diet. Their friend will lose weight on a diet, but then they start eating these foods that they don't have the ability to break down correctly. They go on like a carnivore diet that's pretty much all protein, but if they're not making enough stomach acid, they can't break down that protein. So they can't utilize those nutrients, and the body's basically starving, and the person's going to be a miserable human being. You can't sustain being a miserable human being. You have to do it in a way that you're working with your body so that your body can feel okay and feel well enough to let go of the stored fat.